Right now, the man wanted in an attempted homicide on Madison's east side from the weekend is identified and nearly captured in northwestern Wisconsin. Plus, our investigation into an apartment security measures continues after a dozen people are injured during a weekend shooting there. And jurors hand over a guilty verdict in Hunter Biden's federal gun trial. What's next for the president's son? It's all ahead on News 3 Now at 10. Well, you might find yourself reaching for the AC tomorrow. Temperatures are expected to jump into the 80s, but by late evening, there is a threat of stormy weather that could last into Thursday morning. Our First Warn weather team has put an alert day in the forecast. Meteorologist Jacob Madison shares what you need to know. Jacob?
Thanks, Eric. The alert day is, as you mentioned, for Wednesday evening through Thursday. Thursday, we could see a round of storms in the morning and then again later in the afternoon and evening. Now, as far as what hazards are expecting, well, we could see some damaging winds, some hail, and maybe even an isolated tornado, but the tornado threat is pretty small. Now, taking a look at the current radar, we did have a few showers today, but the radar has cleared up and we aren't going to see any rainfall overnight as temperatures will be milder compared to last night with lows around 60. Now looking at the rainfall forecast, we are going to be dry for the first half of tomorrow, but look off to the northwest. Severe weather is more likely for areas around La Crosse. Excuse me. As that system moves into southern Wisconsin, it will dissipate a little bit, but we're still expecting some heavy rain, and we still could see some severe weather with this line of showers and storms, likely going to impact our area during the evening. But another line of showers and storms are possible later in the night, very early Thursday morning, likely before sunrise. And this line of storms could also produce some severe weather. Now, by the time we get to the afternoon hours, we are still going to see the possibility of some showers and storms, but the afternoon hours Thursday, we're looking at more isolated showers and storms rather than a consistent line of storms that we could be seeing Wednesday evening and then again early in the morning Thursday. Now, I'll talk more in detail about the severe weather risk and show you the temperature forecast over the next 10 days. It's looking a lot warmer. I'll have the full forecast coming up.
Jacob, thank you. A man wanted for attempted homicide late Sunday night, spotted earlier today in Eau Claire, running from police. He has been identified as 37-year-old Jerome Jacobs. Now, this is a closer look. Madison police say he's the suspect in a shooting from Sunday night on the city's Far East Side that left 2 people hurt. Officers in Eau Claire say they tried pulling him over earlier today, but he got away on foot after crashing his vehicle. He is no longer believed to be in that area. 2 people were sent to the hospital just after 10:45 Sunday night after that shooting. It was reported at Trafalgar Place at Andrew Way. One of the people hurt was treated and released, but the other remains hospitalized. Madison police say Jacobs also has a felony DOC warrant for his arrest. As police continue that investigation, another shooting investigation continues. That's the one that left 12 people injured during a party early Sunday morning in downtown Madison. It happened in an apartment complex. No arrests have been made yet, and tenants who live at the Lux apartments tell our Maddie Heimsch while Sunday's violence was out of the norm, random strangers being in the building isn't.
It was swiped to unlock. Like, I can open it right now.
Tenants of the Lux tell me the rooftop gathering space is regularly occupied by non-residents. Online reviews show complaints about building security go back more than 5 years.
Most of these apartment buildings do not have an on-site manager. Most managers actually don't live in the building. So if it's something that occurs after hours, we really need the cooperation and the pre-planning of someone to ensure that we can get a key holder out or someone to access cameras or someone who is responsible.
The Lux is owned by an international housing company called Yugo. Yugo owns 110 properties across 9 countries. So when public safety issues arise out of one of the complexes, who answers for it? What is the balance between the city's responsibility and now this management company's responsibility?
There is a review, an ongoing review, and it's referred to as continuing jurisdiction. So that would ensure that a development needs to operate as approved by the city's plan commission.
When the property was proposed to the City of Madison Planning Committee back in 2014, commitments included a rooftop management plan and on-site management and security. We got a hold of that management plan. It reads in part, quote, "The security key fob system within the building will only allow residents to access the rooftop between the hours of 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. But according to residents, there is no internal security system in the building.
There's no like elevator like key tap thingy. As long as like you're in the building, you're pretty much, you can go anywhere, yeah.
News 3 Now has reached out to the Yugo management team multiple times by email and also phone to ask about their security systems, and we have yet to hear back. A traffic stop early this morning in McFarland ended with 2 arrests after police say they found drugs and a stolen gun. McFarland police sharing this photo of what they recovered. They say officers pulled a vehicle over near Larson Beach Road and Highway 51 just before 12:30. Officers found a stolen 9mm pistol, a large amount of marijuana, and other drugs. 2 33-year-old men were arrested. We are not naming them, however, as they haven't been formally charged as of tonight. Wisconsin's tourism industry brought in more than $25 billion in total revenue impact to the Badger State last year. That's a new record. Governor Tony Evers saying today all 72 counties saw that economic impact and that growth last year. Advertising campaigns from Travel Wisconsin across 12 Midwestern markets resulted in 113 million visits. That's after the 23-25 biennial budget signed by the governor invested $34 million to establish Wisconsin as a premier business, cultural, and recreational destination. The Sun Prairie Public Library taking its first steps to grow in that community. Bright and early this morning, the library held a groundbreaking for an expansion. The new library helps to provide space to a community that continues to grow every year. And this afternoon, area residents got a first-hand glimpse of what's coming and even got the opportunity to take part in the groundbreaking as they were encouraged to bring their own plastic shovels.
It's taken us a lot of endurance to get to this point, and we're here now, and it's happening. And it just means that we just feel seen and feel supported, and the community is just as excited as the library staff is.
The library is expected to be complete by March of 2026, and the project is funded by a collaboration between the Public Library and the Sun Prairie Public Library Foundation, which is holding a $3.5 million fundraising campaign to continue this expansion. Well, you know those historical marker signs you'll sometimes see by the side of the road? Well, Dane County has created its own historical markers program, looking for sites that are historically significant to underrepresented communities. Historical markers are put in locations to teach residents and visitors about the past there and are often signs of text, but some do also include images. A historical site survey and nomination form is available to fill out right now online. The Dane County Department of Planning and Development is looking for nominations from the African American, Latin American, and Asian American, Indigenous American, and LGBTQ+ communities.
All of these folks have been in Dane County a long time, in the case of the Ho-Chunk going back 12,000 years, and they're not represented very well on the historic markers that we have around the county.
We've attached a link to the survey and the nomination form online. Just look for the story at channel3000.com. A historic conviction this afternoon. President Biden's son Hunter becoming the first child of a sitting president to be found guilty of a crime. The jury finding him guilty on all 3 federal felony gun charges that he faced, saying he violated laws to prevent drug addicts from owning guns. Nicole Skanga has more from Delaware.
The jury of 6 men and 6 women convicted Hunter Biden of all 3 felony charges, stemming from his 2018 purchase of a revolver. The jury found the president's son guilty of illegally possessing a gun while he was addicted to crack cocaine and making false statements about using drugs when he bought the firearm. Special counsel David Weiss oversaw the investigation into Hunter Biden.
It was these choices and the combination of guns and drugs that made his conduct dangerous.
As the verdict was read after only about 3 hours of deliberation over 2 days, the defendant looked straight ahead and showed little emotion. CBS News spoke to juror number 10, who asked not to be identified.
The biggest thing that he did was lied about not being a drug addict and not using cocaine and buying a gun.
Hunter Biden faces up to 25 years in prison when he's sentenced by U.S. District Judge Mary Ellen Noreika. But as a first-time offender, it's unlikely he'll get the maximum. President Biden says he will not pardon his son.
I think the defense did about as good as they possibly could have, saying that the form was unclear, that Hunter Biden may not have been using drugs at that time, and that the definition of the term addict was left open to interpretation.
In a written statement, Hunter Biden said he was disappointed by the outcome, but grateful for the support of family and friends. After the verdict, President Biden changed his schedule to be by Hunter's side in Delaware. Nicole Skanga, CBS News, Wilmington, Delaware.
In Atlanta, an off-duty officer is being credited with stopping a gunman who opened fire this afternoon in a busy downtown food court. At least 4 people were shot, including the suspect. Authorities say what started as a fight between 2 people turned into a shooting. One of the people involved in the fight is accused of pulling out a gun and shooting 3 others. An off-duty Atlanta police officer then shot the suspect. People nearby who heard the gunshots shared what came next.
All of a sudden, out of nowhere, like an influx of people were just like sprinting out of there in all different directions. And we were like, what is going on? And somebody like screamed like, there's a shooting, there's a shooter, like run.
You know what it is. You just pray you don't get hit. You don't know which way to run, whether it's right or left. So I was like, dang, where the shots coming from? But they was coming right over there.
Now, 2 of the 3 victims are in critical condition tonight. Authorities say the suspect arrested is a felon who has served prison time for an armed robbery. And staying in Atlanta, where authorities say 1 person was shot and killed after a bus was hijacked downtown, leading police on a chase that spread over 3 counties. Police responded to a report of a shooting on a bus, but it drove off, passengers on board at the time. Dozens of patrol vehicles followed the bus as police tried to figure out how to stop it. Spike strips were eventually used to bring it to a stop. A 39-year-old man was taken into custody. Despite those shootings, President Biden is touting his administration's actions to curb gun violence in America. President Biden says murder is down this year. Violent crime has decreased overall by 15% following major reductions in 2023. He credited the bipartisan Safer Communities Act for investing in prevention programs to reduce community and domestic violence, cracking down on gun traffickers, and providing funding for safer schools. He also says there is more to be done, again, calling for a ban on assault weapons.
Think about it. They're weapons of war. And by the way, it's time we establish universal background checks. And by the way, and require the safe storage of firearms.
Well, the president thanked the crowd for prioritizing gun safety, saying many Americans want to see common sense gun reform. More local stories are still ahead at 10. Getting a hotel room in downtown Madison will soon become a little easier. Hundreds of new rooms will be available later this month. We'll go inside the brand new Embassy Suites next at 10.
Shop from the largest selection of Chevy trucks and SUVs in Wisconsin at Bergstrom Chevrolet. All with Bergstrom's negotiation-free upfront pricing, including our exclusive 7-day price protection and money-back guarantees. Stop in or shop and purchase at BergstromChevrolet.com.
Welcome to the Health Spa. We always knew that we wanted to grow and we couldn't find the right location. When this spot appeared, like, gosh, if we can get this location secured.
We both approached Olivia at Tobacco Credit Union and she walked us through the paperwork and the process in order to get this project started.
The best thing about working with Tobacco was they also showed us other available opportunities that could help us actually reduce our loan rate. So they are partners with us, and with the help of them, we've been able to create this beautiful space.
Get an 11% rebate on everything at Menards and give Dad the gift of power this Father's Day. The Masterforce drill and impact driver have a brushless motor to deliver on power. They also come in a lightweight, compact design, making them perfect for when working in overhead or tight spaces. Save on Masterforce power tools this Father's Day. Pick up these ultra-compact 20-volt tools. Now just $88.99 each after the 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
All month long here on Buzzed in Madison, we are celebrating Wisconsin farmers. That's right. This week, we're headed to Jazzy Jerseys in Lodi, and just maybe you'll get to see Lily right here on Buzzed in Madison. WISC TV3.
It doesn't make big headlines. There's no scandal, no conflict. So you probably haven't heard about the Biden administration's work to lower costs, getting caps on the cost of medicine like insulin and inhalers at $35, and investing in American-made clean energy to lower power bills. If you don't know about it, join the club. It's not what the news is covering these days. But you can find out yourself how you can save some money.
You have a consumer issue and you keep getting the runaround. Need help?
It's call for action to help me. Nobody else did.
Contact our team by phone or on channel3000.com. Call for action only on News 3 Now, moving forward for you. You're watching News 3 Now at 10, moving forward.
Welcome back. More hotel rooms and meeting space will soon be ready in downtown Madison. We got to look at a brand new Embassy Suites on Pinckney Street, part of the larger Judge Doyle Square project. The hotel will celebrate its first day of business next Thursday. That's June 20th. Ground broke on the project back in April of 2022. The hotel features 262 rooms, all of which are suites, a full bar, a restaurant, 4,000 square feet of meeting space as well. And project developers hope the hotel's location will be a big draw for guests.
To be across the street from King Street, all the bars and restaurants in Capitol and Monona Terrace, I think this is kind of ground zero from a lodging perspective downtown Madison.
Embassy Suites is a Hilton-owned property. For reservations, you visit Hilton.com. As the summer vacation season switches into high gear, more people are opting for shorter vacations closer to home instead of traveling out of state or abroad. A new survey of 2,000 adults reveals only 1 in 3 Americans used all of their paid vacation time last year. Nearly 2/3 feel they should take more frequent short vacations, that those would be more restful than going on fewer long vacations. And that coincides with the rise of the new trend that's called day guesting, where people use a hotel or a resort's facilities like pools and spas, even rooms, for just one day.
And I think a lot of that has to do with less of the logistics involved and the often far travel. And they get to just focus on the actual vacation brain that you get when you're experiencing kind of days of escapism, rather than some of the negative externalities associated with planning a longer trip.
In the poll, 85% of Americans said they feel recharged after taking just one day off, and most Americans only take 1.6 vacations a year. If you're staying close to town this summer, here's something to consider to keep your kids busy. Sign them up for the Cub Scouts. And today at Token Creek County Park in DeForest, 150 scouts ranging from kindergarten all the way up to 5th grade took part in several activities, including archery, as you just saw, and also rock climbing right here as part of a day camp. Well, next month, Nathan's hot dog eating contest will return to New York's Coney Island for the 4th of July, but 16-time champ Joey Chestnut won't be there. He has been banned. His name is synonymous with the event itself, but Major League Eating says a sponsorship that Chestnut has with Impossible Foods makes him ineligible to compete. Impossible Foods is a company that makes plant-based hot dogs, a competitor of Nathan's. In a statement, Major League Eating says in part, quote, Joey Chestnut is an American hero. We would love nothing more than to have him at Nathan's famous International Hot Dog Eating Contest. We hope he returns when he is not representing a rival brand. Well, time for another check of your First Warn forecast. Here's meteorologist Jacob Madison. Jacob?
Thanks, Eric. Here's a look at the 3 things you need to know. We are going to see some thunderstorm activity for Wednesday evening and Thursday. But the other big story is that temperatures are going to be warmer tomorrow, and those warm temperatures, for the most part, are going to continue for the foreseeable future. We also have several chances of storms in the forecast for next week. I'll show you in the 10-day, but it looks like we could see some isolated storms almost every day. So the alert day for Wednesday evening into Thursday, it is for the possibility of strong to severe storms. We could see storms that produce strong winds, hail, maybe even an isolated tornado, but the tornado threat is very low. And again, late Wednesday into Thursday. Here's a look at the severe weather outlook for Wednesday. There is a slight risk the further northwest you go around La Crosse, with a marginal risk for areas just to the southeast of that. It covers about half of our area, and in general, the further northwest you're located, the more likely you will see some severe weather activity. But the entire region still expected to see rain nonetheless. And then looking at Thursday's severe weather outlook, another marginal risk, but it almost includes all the areas that aren't under the marginal risk for tomorrow. Now, there are a few locations not under a risk either day, but that doesn't mean that those areas won't see any severe weather at all. So let's take a look at the forecast, and I'll show you the timing of all the rainfalls. So again, the storms are going to move into our area from the northwest. The strongest storms, though, will stay to the northwest of our area, as they are going to dissipate just a little bit as they move into southern Wisconsin. Overall, though, we are expecting some showers showers and storms. Definitely could see some heavy rain at times, and as we've been talking about, the severe weather risk is there. This round of storms will occur during the evening, but then we are expecting a second round of storms later in the night, very early in the morning Thursday, likely before sunrise. And this round of storms looks to clear out by around sunrise. But then as we get to Thursday afternoon, we're going to see more showers and storms, but these will be a little bit more isolated. Not going to see that consistent line that we could see Wednesday evening. And this will continue through the afternoon, with the best chance of severe weather Thursday happening to the south of our area entirely down in Illinois. Now, temperature-wise, it's going to be a warm one, but it's also worth mentioning that we are going to start to see the average high in the lower 80s by the end of the 10-day forecast. The warmest days over the next 10 days will be for Father's Day and the few days afterwards, where we could be seeing those high temperatures in the upper 80s, if not lower 90s. Now, as I talked about earlier, we do have a chance of storms really every day next week. Now, obviously, as time gets closer to those days, we will likely have a little bit of a better picture as to which days we'll see the most rainfall, as well as which time of the day we likely will see the most rain. But right now, expect to see some scattered storms for Father's Day, and continuing to see scattered storms throughout next week. But in general, each of the next 10 days, we likely are going to be dry for a good portion of the day. At this point, we aren't expecting any washouts. So although you see chance of storms almost every day, we likely will have a lot of the day remain dry.
And coming up in sports, what Matt Ryan says Jordan Love needs to do to take that next step as a starter in Green Bay. Find out next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Win a hand-paid jackpot at Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells, and you'll have a chance to win a new Jeep Grand Cherokee and a shot at $100,000 in cash. It's the Mega Jackpot Winners Quarterly Drawings going on now at Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells. Your odds are better here.
Here's to the farm and fleet dads, the ones who work hard and get the job done right, the ones who take pride in what they do and take the time to pass it on. This Father's Day, get your dad a gift he'll love. Like men's Ariat t-shirts, buy 2, get 1 free. New at Blaine's, this Charbroil gas grill, $209.99. Save $20 on this Simpson pressure washer, $3.99. Plus, a Blaine's Farm and Fleet gift card makes the perfect Father's Day gift.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
At RG Heating and Air Conditioning, our promise to you is 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Guaranteed service, repairs, and replacements. Installing quality Trane equipment. Trust your home with RG Heating and AC.
Stanton Optical is the best value in eye care. We did the math, people. For $79, you get all this. That costs over $200 at Walmart, over $300 at LensCrafters, and over $200 at America's Best. When it comes to value, Stanton Optical is the top bird. With the best service, quality, and prices, Stanton Optical is the best value in eye care. To help you remember, I made this cheer. V value. A, awesome value. L, lots of value. U, get 2 pairs of free eye exam and anti-glare lenses for only $79.
Imagine trying to take on one of the big car companies. It's not easy. Yet this year, one local law firm finalized the largest compensatory verdict in state history against an automaker, over $38 million. And it was no fluke. That same firm has been holding big car companies accountable for faulty designs that cause injury for over 50 years. Because Wisconsinites know who to call when it's a must-win scenario. They call Habish, and Rotier. National reputation, hometown service.
Get a great deal and do a great deal of good when you shop at Habitat Restore. From furniture and decor to appliances and building materials, we've got everything you need for your next project. Shop our convenient East and West locations today.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
I'm 82. 86.
90 years young.
Eric Hovde thinks people like us shouldn't be able to vote.
If you're in a nursing home, you only have 5-6 month life expectancy. Almost nobody in a nursing home is in a point to vote.
Son, I've served this country. I think I can handle a ballot.
What a jerk.
Eric Hovde, I'm fully aware of whom I'm voting for, and it won't be you.
Win a hand-paid jackpot at Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells, and you'll have a chance to win a new Jeep Grand Cherokee and a shot at $100,000 in cash. It's the Mega Jackpot Winners Quarterly Drawings going on now at Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells. Your odds are better here.
The Packers kicked off their mandatory 3-day minicamp this week, and Jordan Love, of course, was in attendance. And his contract extension sounds like it's going to get done ahead of training camp, which is good news for all parties involved. Now, as far as Love taking that next step from year 1 to year 2 as a starter, well, former NFL MVP Matt Ryan, who's now a current NFL analyst, says it all comes down to cleaning up the little things.
I think the space where he takes the next steps, right, is just cleaning up the little things, you know, down in and down out. And I think that's going to come with experience, you know, having all of that film to watch from last year, you know, just cleaning up some of those simple things, being a little bit more consistent. I think if he can do that, the sky's the limit.
For the first time since 2018, Johnson Creek is back in the state baseball tournament, and they arrived at Fox City Stadium on a roll. The Blue Jays outscored their opponents 48-6 in the playoffs. Up first for Johnson Creek, the Solon Springs Northwood Co-op in the D4 semifinals. And the Green Eagles have a guy by the name of Abe Alberg, and he can do it all. First inning, he ropes one down the third base line, part of a 2-run inning for Solon Springs. And Alberg was dialed in on the mound as well. He didn't allow a run while striking out 9 Blue Jays. Johnson Creek falls in the semis 7-0 the final.
I just told these kids, you know, we lose 5 seniors, and they are great kids. And I just told them that they didn't not only change our program, they changed our school and the culture of our school and our community, and we're really proud of them. So that was a tough loss. You know, we didn't play our best, but, you know, give credit to them.
Game 2 between the Brewers and Blue Jays. Carlos Rodriguez making his MLB debut, and the first batter he saw strikes him out. Rodriguez went 3 2/3, striking out 4. Now, he did give up 2 runs. Not bad for his first start, though. Unfortunately, the crew couldn't get much going in the batter's box. 0 for 12 with runners in scoring position. They lose 3-0 the final. And on the ice, Britta Curl was selected in last night's PWHL draft, 9th overall by Minnesota. The 2-time captain turns pro after helping Wisconsin win 144 games, reach 4 national finals, and win 3 national championships in 5 seasons. She scored 86 goals and tallied 94 assists as a Badger. Teammate Anna Wilgren was taken 5th in the 5th round by Montreal. We're back after this.
Welcome into Buzzed Into Madison and June Dairy Month. Another week in June, which means another dairy farm. This week, we are with Sydney here in Lodi at Jazzy Jerseys. And I mean, just take a look at this beautiful setting behind us. You grew up here, now you're working here, you're living here. What does this land mean to you?
Well, this land and this farm, it means family. This is where I grew up. I have so many memories here. And now that I came back to the farm, I'm working with my dad and brother every single day to hopefully make this an option for our families in the future.
Mm-hmm. So since we saw you last time, you have gotten married, but you're doing this full time for the last 1.5 years. How has that changed things?
It's a different lifestyle than I was used to, but it is enjoyable. We get to see our work that we've done, the result of it directly, and watching my husband fall in love with farming and the lifestyle has been so enjoyable.
Well, you've loved this lifestyle and have loved the cows since you were so young. So I'm sure to see the man you're in love with fall in love with it is like, okay, this is what it was meant to be.
And to watch him learn too about cows, about our farming practices that we're doing in the field. He loves it. I love watching it. It's very enjoyable.
How do you connect your farm with the community?
Well, the community is important to us. We need to be good neighbors. And so we have really enjoyed the last couple years getting involved with our farmers market and getting to directly connect our community to their local food.
How can viewers help support you? What can they buy in the grocery store?
Well, we want you to buy cheese. That is where our milk goes to. But any dairy product, dairy is delicious and nutritious. And we want you to celebrate dairy in Wisconsin. So visit wisconsindairy.org to find a local event near you in June. From Jazzy Jerseys in Lodi,
I'm Emmy Fink,
and you're buzzed into Madison.
This famous wood fence from the show Home Improvement had to have boards replaced 13 times in only 9 years. Our fences outlast wood 3 to 1 and are all backed by our extensive lifetime warranty. This month, save $1,000 on your project. Visit the website or call the number for your new fence today.
I'm gonna take real good care of your windows.
You need the experts at Feldco.
Right now at Felco, get 2 windows for the price of 1.
Call now.
Call 866 for Felco.
Madison, a new era in golf has arrived. Introducing TPC Wisconsin, an elite golf club with worldwide privileges. Contact TPC Wisconsin today for your exclusive membership.
Chris Stanford, News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
Tonight, no liquor at Trump golf courses. In a related story, Rudy Giuliani has announced he is voting for Joe Biden.
There's New with Jake Gyllenhaal tonight on CBS.
Well, you can't be afraid of heights if you're a paraglider, but check out this unique launch spot. 31-year-old Austrian extreme athlete Roland Brunbauer last week successfully paragliding off a 213-foot tall Ferris wheel in Vienna. Normally, paragliding takes place up in the mountains, not in the heart of a busy city. Brunbauer says it took him 1 year to prepare and calculate the wind conditions for that flight.
It was something new to fly in the city and landing close to a busy road. But yeah, we made it and I'm super happy about this.
1 year, folks. The reason behind this challenge, Brunbauer says it was to push himself even harder. All right, Jacob is back with a look at the weather coming our way tomorrow, and it could get a little interesting.
Yeah, we do have an alert day for the evening and overnight hours Wednesday, and the alert day conditions are going to continue for Thursday morning and possibly Thursday afternoon as well. We could see a few lines of thunderstorms that produce strong winds, hail, very small chance of an isolated tornado, but the tornado risk is very, very low. Temperatures, though, are going to be a lot warmer. Highs will be in the middle 80s. And although they will drop a little bit for Friday and Saturday, Father's Day and the few days after, we could be seeing temperatures in the lower 90s. Very warm.
Looks like summer is arriving, folks. Jacob, thank you. Thanks for joining us, folks, for News 3 Now at 10. We hope you have a great night.